Test. Oh, I did it.
There you go. There you go. There you go.
Hello, guys.
Hi. Hi.
Hi. My name is Charlie Green, otherwise known as CG5, and I make music based upon video games, television shows, and all original songs and covers and stuff like that. And I'm glad to see some people here. Hello. Introduce yourself.
Hi guys, I'm Del Bondo.
Hi.
I like to compose music, so
He's composed for...
Labyrinth, Crawling, Cuphead, some parts of it, Spotlight,
Lots of
Labyrinth. But I did a bunch. Oh, also Let Me Through. That was fun. I actually have a unique story with where that song came from.
Hello everyone, my name's Gigi. I've collaborated with these two fine gentlemen quite a bit. I've also done covers of their songs as well as other covers. I've written a couple of songs and I do some voice acting as well. So it's really nice to be here with y'all.
Yay! Alright, so we're going to be taking questions at this panel, and to fill up time, we're also talking to people on Discord, and we're getting questions from a Discord channel.
I think we should just give them the microphones and they can actually, we can hear them.
Yeah, you can pass one around.
It's not on.
Cool.
That will help out.
Oh, we got one in the back right here.
We'll get this fine gentleman in the back.
Hello, random guy.
Hey guys, Charlie, I wanted to know actually, whenever you're working on original music and you're working on your own songs, you have such an identity and such a reputation with making songs based off of other people's IPs. When you're working on your original music, are you actively thinking to try to create your own sound, your own image, or are you actively thinking, I want to be influenced and sound like these other artists? Like whenever you're making a song based off of Cuphead or a song based off of Five Nights at Freddy's, and you're trying to create a sound, you're having to think about what you want it to sound like. When you're working on your original music, how is that different? I think it's a better way to frame that question.
So, are you talking like in comparison to original concept music?
Completely original concept, not based off anyone else's ideas other than your own.
Okay. So, of course, like you said, with video game originals, I have inspiration from the actual game itself, and it's it's more simple to write music based upon that, but of course I still put blood, sweat, and tears into it. But with original concept music, I like to go by music from the 80s or the 70s or anywhere back then. A lot of the inspiration that I get from music back then, like I have a song that I just wrote that's kind of based upon Phil Collins, and I'm excited about that one. And I got like 4 songs put together that are completely original for an album. But yeah, it's pretty much just a lot of old music inspiration, because there's a lot of really clever concepts there that are kind of left untouched in today's music, I feel like. Thank you, Caleb.
I can just speak really loud.
Okay.
So is there anyone, are there any like EDM producers and DJs that like you either like really look up to or influence how you do music? Either or.
What's the question?
Just basically, like, are there any like modern EDM DJs and producers that influence you or that you particularly like?
Well, when I kind of started in EDM, I was kind of inspired by Dylan Francis and his, really kind of grimy sound with his music. Yeah, like that. And the 95 BPM, just like the down-tempo kind of stuff. But I also kind of take a lot of inspiration from Zen to a certain extent. Yeah, like the synths and layers and stuff like that. A lot of stuff goes into that. Yeah, it's big on EDM.
So I know you've done a lot of meme-related songs.
Yeah, like that egg.
Yeah, or there you go.
What the heck?
Which is your favorite?
Why do you have that?
Amazing.
I am.
To be honest, his of Gun and Knuckles is probably my favorite meme song he's made so far.
Thank
It is a
you.
lot.
It's a good song.
Thanks, I guess. Why did I make that song?
Yeah.
Because it was a meme, and not really many people have done like meme-based songs, and I thought that there was a pretty interesting market there that I could base my work upon, and so I did it. That's what pretty much the concept I go for nowadays with the other meme songs, Big Chuckers, Bravo Cat. Just, they were big memes, and they're more consistent than other memes can be.
Right. Yeah. You got it. It's the best one.
Hello, Fred.
Yeah.
I got one for Delvando. Describe your very first collaboration with CG5. How did that go?
Ooh. Well, first collaboration, it was like 2 different times when our friendship blossomed. The first time it was kind of like a flower that was sprouting in spring, and then some snowstorm rips it apart and then it starts growing again. So, first time I was at a dance, I felt lonely, kind of like those dramatic videos of some kids just like, oh, I'm lonely, no one to dance with me. Well, I normally get rid of all my frustration on piano, so I'm like, I'm just gonna play piano, get someone's attention, play it, then I see Charlie, and Trey's like, oh, you play pretty good. And I'm like, yeah, thanks. So we're like, I was a freshman at the time, and Charlie's like, you know what? We should collab or something, just make some music together. And I'm like, okay. Well, back at that time, I was socially awkward. I was really scared of going to strangers' houses and just collaborating music. And that was really strange to me. I get over there, and it was awkward. But we got something done, but we never finished the project, and then we just didn't talk to each other. Now that's when the snowstorm hit. So a few years later, I ran into Charlie in the middle of a YouTube comment. Like, those odds are pretty low because determine how many YouTube videos are out there. And I'm like, Charlie? And he's like, Marcel? And then we're like, we gotta talk again. And I remember the actual official project we got done was this song for Undertale called Snow Dip. And we did a remix together, and that experience was very fun. And now I'm like, dang, working with Charlie is super fun. He brings out the good in me with my music, and I don't know, he's so talented at making something sound better, and that's why I totally enjoy working with Charlie and composing for him. So.
What are your guys' biggest fears?
Chi-Chi, you first. Biggest fear.
Oh boy. Just probably one of my, it used to be quicksand. That used to be my biggest fear ever. But then I learned that it's actually not as deadly as the movies make it out to be, so then I kind of got over that fear. I guess my next big fear is just adulting in general, just trying to learn how to be a grown-up and learning how to do taxes. That's another big one. Taxes and just the overall state of growing up. That's kind of a big fear, but it's also like, it's a fear everybody has to face, so there is some comfort in that. Everybody's afraid of it, but we're all facing it together. We'll all get through it together.
Alright. Well, I'm afraid of Baby Bell. I think I have animatronic phobia, so, like, you scare me. I mean, it's kind of hard to process every day getting stuck in an office and these giant robot things that are like 8 foot tall come in to murder your face, and it's quite unsettling. I tried the VR. That was even more unsettling because nothing's more freaky when you can actually get out of your seat, look down the hallway, and see an 8 foot animatronic staring at you in the dark. So, yeah, that's what I'm kind of afraid of.
I think we all have a fear of being buried alive, but we're not going to talk about that one.
Don't worry, Charlie, I won't do that. Yes.
My biggest fear. It's a big one. It's a big question.
I think you're afraid of a lot of stuff, right?
Yeah, pretty much. My biggest fear is probably dying in a fire. No pun intended.
I'm sorry.
Because it hurts. And I don't want to get shot and expire.
What about freezing to death?
That too.
Alright, he's just afraid of dying.
I'm afraid of pain. I'm afraid of pain. That's my thing.
That's fair.
Good question.
Anyone else?
Right there.
Give him the microphone, Max. Go, go, go.
So, I'm like a smaller YouTuber trying to get off the ground. How did you guys all like start out?
Oh my gosh, where to start? Well, Chi-Chi can go first.
I have definitely been one of those just going as slow and steady was my pace. I started out as a sophomore in high school. All I had was a garage band on my computer and a laptop mic, and that's it. And iMovie for just posting up videos. And so really that's all your very, very first time just testing the waters, that's honestly all you need. I still have my very first video from those days up on my YouTube just as a little reminder of everybody starts out somewhere, no matter what. So really it's just get the minimum you need and start, and if you really feel like it's something you can keep doing and keep going with, then just keep going and kind of slowly, and then build your way up from there. It's all a matter of putting one foot in front of the other and starting.
Well, for me, I was inspired to make my YouTube channel after I seen Markiplier. And I was like, dang, that's such a cool idea. It has his like own name and he has his own image and all this type of stuff. And I just definitely loved him so much. And I'm like, I gotta do this myself. My channel actually started out as a gaming channel, and I really thought I could just magically become a really awesome gamer. And that didn't happen. I was stuck and stubborn for that for like 2 years. And gotten nowhere. I've gotten only like 120 subscribers probably. And then I met Charlie, and he kind of like changed the direction of where my compass should be. And before, when I made music, I tried selling it before. I was like 12, 13, 14. I had some pretty good pieces, not with the best quality, but I had really good composing, but I needed a Charlie to help, make it better. So, at that time, I felt like there's one thing you need to realize is that you need to have ambition and a good foundation of what you want your channel to be and what's it for you. And one of the mistakes I made was I thought that if people didn't want to listen to my music might suck. And so I stopped making music because I felt like, oh, no one wants to listen to it. It sucks. No, it's all that bad. And Charlie brought me back from the music crave. And I'm like, wait a second, I actually can do this. And that kind of gave me the confidence that I actually can make a difference. Because nothing makes me more happy than seeing other people enjoy what I make. And that's why I like making YouTube videos. Because I just want to make people laugh. It's that simple. It's a good feeling, and lifting other spirits is something that I think we all should invest our time in. And after that, the channel started sailing. Like, through some tricks that I've learned. Like, before my tagging, it was like, tagging was a big thing. Charlie was a master at that. I didn't bother to tag
Putting
channels.
tags on videos.
It's like the bigger you get, the more complicated things get when growing channels. It's like, one thing you gotta focus on what's trending, and try to make content that's what people's eyes are on. Apparently these days, people are really focused on a little point. It's like watching, like looking at something through a paper towel. What is that thing called? It's like pinhole, yeah. It's like looking through those. And now these days we have to literally grab our, let's say we have a painting, we have to like put it right in front of their face. Hey, look at this! And then they're like, oh! And so, that's like how YouTube works now, is that you gotta come up with ways to be able to squeeze your own content and ideas into other areas. And that's how you that's where you get your success from, and paying attention to what people are looking at. Kind of like when Charlie makes his memes with the eggs. I don't know where he got that idea from. It's probably somewhere out in the corner in the dark. Or the Who Got the Knuckles. That was an interesting trend. There's some weird stuff.
Well, it all comes down to the algorithm.
Yeah.
It can be difficult to please the algorithm, especially during these trying times. YouTube's kind of getting to a certain point where it needs to be fixed. It really does. And they're trying their best, but it's not quite working. But when I started, I was starting with like remixes and stuff like that, remixing video games more so than singing. I didn't even really sing for like a few uploads.
Well, you did play guitar, isn't it?
And that was a whole other channel. I have a dead channel now with like a bunch of covers.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
It was the same thing.
No, they're completely separate. And I had no intention to make the beach channel, that's what I called it, the beach channel bigger than it was with the cover channel. I wanted the cover channel to be bigger. But it didn't get any bigger. Both of them were kind of just, you know, not really doing well at all. And then I decided to start singing. And that's when I made a song for The Amazing World of Gumball, which was my first song that I made with my singing voice on that particular channel. And that one did okay. I was like, oh, cool. Just 3,000 views in a day. And I was like, wow, that's a lot more than I thought I'd get on a bunch of videos. So I'm just going to keep doing this. Somebody suggested Bendy and the Ink Machine in a live chat. And so I decided to make a Bendy and the Ink Machine song. And that's when Will of EA Games accidentally made a song trailer with a code name, Can I Get an Amen? And my song was called Can I Get an Amen? And I got accused of stealing this song.
Stole from him.
I stole from the games. And so, yeah, obviously I didn't. But I guess, the song gained traction from that accident. And so, with that one lucky video, that one lucky upload, because really, in the beginning of your channel, YouTube is all about luck. You just gotta find that little bit of luck.
Which means you just keep posting until something lucky happens.
Yes, and that happened. And then I decided to work off of that luck with more hard work, see what other people wanted, just kept getting, kept branching out to other things. Even when this bendy thing was doing really well, I didn't want to go straight to do another bendy thing. I also had like a FNAF thing and another bendy thing. I didn't want to do too much of that, so I had like the gumball thing and a whole bunch of stuff that grew at the same time. And it's important to branch out. If one thing works for you, then don't do that one thing forever, because then your channel will die.
Yes,
real
because
fast.
let's just say if something stops trending, like if you just focused your whole entire channel on Uganda Knuckles.
That'd be terrible.
I don't know what you're doing with your life with that one, but if Uganda Knuckles goes down, what happens to your channel? It dies. So, Charlie's really, I admire his ability to manage his channel. I kind of follow in his footsteps because he thinks really hard about where his channel is going. So I do not doubt at all that his channel is going to die anytime soon, because having variety is very important, but not too much variety. Otherwise you'll be spreading out the butter on a piece of bread. I don't know what I'm talking about. So yeah.
All right. If anybody has any more questions.
If I could just add one last point quickly. So another point for that is collaboration. Collaboration is extremely important. Like, I would not be up here if it weren't for these guys right here, and so many of the other YouTubers I have met throughout my time on YouTube. So
She's the goddess of collaboration. I have never seen so many collabs in my life.
But thank you. But yes, collaboration. That is another thing. It could be with your best friend or just in general. Collaboration is an amazing tool. And you should use it. Okay, I'm done.
So if you steal from the games, then work with the games.
Exactly.
If you can.
How do you go about doing a collaboration with someone without making it seem like you're just trying to feed off of their clout though?
Just have a nice business email. If you come off really unprofessional with somebody, they're not going to want to work with you.
They will close the book. Really.
Yes. Believe me, I know. I have done that a bunch.
Oh,
I've had a lot of emails where people are like, "Hi, can you be my friend?" I'm like, "No, I don't know who the heck you are, so I'm not going to be your friend."
Yeah, and also another tip to like having people be able to collab with you is if you have your own projects to present to them. If you kind of like do that, hey, I want to work with you, here's some of my work, you put that apart with the email, then they have something to look at. Because when we get some random email just like, will you work with me, please? And I'm like, who are you? I'm like, do you have any projects? No. I'm like, then would this be worth my time to be able to risk putting my own time and stuff? Because Charlie's got a lot of work. I mean, he does tons of stuff. Sometimes he can't even talk to me.
And that's how Labyrinth was made. Now, we have some questions from Discord, and a lot of them, so I'm going to just skim through these to see which ones are the best. Thank you, by the way, to everyone that had questions on Discord.
Thank you.
Oh, yeah, thank you.
All right, first question from Axie. What do you think of the real Axie?
Well, if you don't know who Axie is, he's the one that animated Spotlight and
Crawling
And Labyrinth.
in Labyrinth, yes. A bunch of stuff. So, what is it? Do I want to think of him, of the real one, in fact? You're so dumb. Next one. What is your favorite song? Either your own or not. My favorite song is Uncrowned that I've made. Let's just do our own songs. So, Uncrowned.
either Labyrinth or Cuphead. Final straw, sorry.
My personal favorite of mine would probably be Alice's Tango, because it was the first song I entirely produced on my own, and it was really cool that people liked it, and that it got enough of a following that I could be like, yeah, I can do this more. I can be my own producer person thing. Yeah.
You are good at producing.
Well, who is your bias in BTS? Okay. BTS is a K-pop band, by the way, for those of you who don't know.
Oh my gosh, you showed me those videos so many times, making videos, we gotta look like BTS, and I'm looking at it, it's like rainbows and colors everywhere. I'm like, Charlie, I can't produce this.
My bias is J-Hope. You don't know who that is. You have a bias?
I don't. I love them all. They are all my bias.
They are all cool and they have colorful hair.
Yes.
What do you think about the Living Tombstone? He's sick. And I'm glad I made a remix of his song because it got me 30 million views.
Wonderful guy, total sweetheart, amazing producer. He's cool. He's cool.
I got to meet him, it was an interesting experience.
He's really down to earth. He has no pride in him at all, really.
Yeah.
It's insane. How did I meet Orlando? We already kind of told that story.
At a dance.
How to dance. Not dancing.
No, that didn't happen.
What is your all-time... Oh, I already answered that. What is your favorite DA game song? Okay. Left Behind. That's a cool song. Like that one. What's your favorite? That doesn't help anything, say it.
I don't remember the name of it, I forgot. Oh, our Builder Machine, I like that one. That was my favorite.
Nice.
Now, this is a totally unbiased answer, but I think Instruments of Cyanide might be my favorite. It's got a great composition.
Not just because you were in it or anything, right?
Totally not. Totally not. But yeah, I think. Well, besides that, I think my favorite other one would probably be Gospel of Dismay, just because I love how upbeat and jumpy it is.
Very upbeat. I have a question for all three, then for Charlie. My question for Charlie is, will he ever collab with Nate Wants to Battle one day? That's a dream. That's a dream. You follow me on Twitter, and that's cool.
I mean, we once got to collab with Tobuscus. I think we can probably get him too.
That would be cool, yeah.
Time.
And for all three, what's the hardest song you ever made? Hardest? Ooh, I have a lot of those. I always lay back like this because I'm kind of uncomfortable with certain questions.
He does this a lot.
Try to think about it.
Poor guy.
Well, the hardest one was probably Spotlight. I went through like 3 projects on that one. We had like a few drafts before we decided, okay, let's just do this one and work off of this one. And I think Marshall really wasn't helping with anything yet for the first couple of projects for this song. And I was like, you know what, let's get Marshall over here. Let's compose this
that's when I
song.
moved back to Arizona, and then I was like, when you had me in person, it was much easier.
Yeah,
It's like,
everything
you
was
can
easy.
do jazz? I'm like, I can. I can do jazz.
And so he makes fun.
Yeah.
Hardest song you've ever made?
Hardest song I ever made, it might be at Sister Location, because it was my first time learning how MIDIs and everything worked. So it was very much a learning. Oh, actually no, scratch that. The hardest project I ever worked on was Fallen Angel, because that was the one. It was for this Undertale project that went on for a little bit, and it was incredibly hard because when they hired me on as a composer, I thought they were just saying, oh, you just have to write some stuff here and there. They didn't tell me I had to produce the whole thing. And so I was like, well, I'm gonna learn how to produce now. And so it was just wheels on the ground running, learning how to do everything because I had to. And I grew a lot from that, but it was also very, very challenging.
Well, the hardest song I made is this is Zelda's song that I'm working on that I'll try to post at the end of March. It is an instrumental, and it was probably the most complicated one I've ever made because I had to learn how to use the strings and instruments and trumpets correctly because trumpets are really hard to control. I don't know how to make them sound cool. So lyrics is just the only problem.
Lyrics are difficult to write
We'll see by the
sometimes.
end of March, I hope.
Somebody that's here has a question on Discord, so I guess I could take it on here, or would you like to say it? Okay, I'll text it. I'll say it. I'll text the answer, because you texted on here, I'm going to have to text the answer. Okay. This is for all of y'all. If you had to choose between Queen and ABBA, which one would you choose, and why?
Get rid of her.
Which one? I would choose Queen, because Queen, Freddie Mercury sang good, and the music was very well composed. ABBA is kind of a different story. The music was very good, but I'm not much into the girly girl music. It's a little like, Dancing Queen. I can't, Thank you. Queen or ABBA?
No answer.
I love ABBA, don't get me wrong. They have some amazing songs and they're super catchy and they're great. But for just the sheer power and a lot of the historical value that Queen had, I think I would have to choose Queen. And also, Somebody to Love is just, that's a power jam right there. And Bohemian Rhapsody. You can't get rid of a Bohemian Rhapsody. There you go.
So in the spirit of Shuto Con, since that's where this is taking place,
Is it?
Delvano and Chi-Chi, what are your favorite animes? And for Charlie, since you don't really watch anime, what is your favorite cartoon?
He likes Pokemon.
That's an anime.
As far as stuff that's currently running, my favorite anime right now is The Promised Neverland. It's one of the few animes where I'm all caught up with the manga, and it's a long-running manga. And so I am so excited to see where the rest of the anime goes. And you all should be watching it if you aren't watching it right now. It is awesome. And they got an amazing opening.
Oh man, this is a hard choice. I'm picking between JoJo's Bizarre Adventure or Konosuba. I pick both. I can't go without.
My favorite cartoon is... There's a lot. There's really a lot. I was thinking of Gumball. Gumball's about to end soon, very quickly. I love Star vs. the Forces of Evil. Always, always, always. Yeah, I think I'll choose Gumball. Yeah, always the Amazing World of Gumball. Yeah.
So this is more like a YouTube generalization question, but what's like a good watch percentage on your average video?
Like for a new video compared to audience?
Yeah.
Okay. So I have roughly 440,000 subscribers on YouTube right now. And I released a video about 3 days ago that was kind of out of the ordinary because I already made, it was a Deltarune song, but I had already made a Deltarune song once before, and it was with Oreo.
I love that one. That one was
Yeah,
good.
that was fun to make. But I decided to release another one because I guess I was running out of ideas for the moment. But it still came out well, but the first day of it being up, it got about 14,000 views. And compared to the audience itself, it's like 2% probably of the audience.
And like, don't be discouraged. Sometimes when you try some new things, you might run into like no views. Like I tried some Deltarune songs, I thought it would do great. I only got like 4K views, and then beaten by like my Don't Touch My Crown song. Got more than my.
And they grow later though. That's the thing that happens with, especially music. When the videos are up for a while, especially when they're like, you know.
Yeah, they sometimes can explode.
Yeah, they can just explode out of nowhere.
Kind of like Insanity.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was kind of.
I'd say my answer echoes a lot of what they were saying, that usually when I'll put out a video, maybe it'll get like a couple thousand within the first day, and then it'll slowly grow from that point. Like they said, a lot of it depends on just sometimes random luck, sometimes they'll explode later on, and the other thing is what it's about. Like sometimes, like if it's on a trending topic or something, that's generally going to grow sooner than if it's something original.
Yeah, like Big Chungus got 63,000 views in a day, so like, it depends on what it is.
Yeah, if you start music, you want to focus your music on things that or ideas that are already out there. Don't start with the originals like I did. I was like 3 years and I only got like 110 subscribers.
Or you can do it. You can do what you want, but it's.
Or if you're
yeah.
just literally a musical god, then do your original music.
Oh yeah. I meant to phrase it differently. Like the watch percentage of the total video. So like if you go into analytics.
Oh.
Like, because I was wondering, like, is there a spot where YouTube's kind of like, if you're over this percentage, it's going to kind of promote through the algorithm a little bit more?
Amazing question for me.
I unfortunately do not know the answer to that. I am not as up to date on my own analytics on the whole, so unless I have it right in front of me, I can't answer that question, I'm afraid.
Watch percent. Is it like watch time of the video?
Yeah, like watch time of the video.
Watch time compared to total time.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So it's like the moment when someone like clicks on a video, and if it's bad, someone would be like, I'm gonna click it out. That's watch time.
Oh, okay.
That means they don't finish your entire video.
Usually it's an average, for me it's an average of like 2.5 minutes, which is pretty good. 2 to 2.5 minutes depending on how long the song actually is.
Yeah, there's some people that just click on it and just leave. It's kind of like a comedy.
If it's not an app, they're gone.
I mean, it's like those moments when you just like leave the computer for a second and just let it auto run the video, and then you're like, I don't want this video, and then you click on the next one. That probably might happen. Because you go, no, that's boring.
Where you're getting impatient with the render or something. I can't render this anymore.
I can't render this 360p. I'm out of here.
Alright, so I guess my question is, when I was in 6th grade, the 5 Nights at Freddy's songs were just absolutely huge. Like, everyone listened to these songs. And my favorite, personally, was, of course, my favorite FNAF game was the second one. My favorite song, and it still is my favorite song, and of all the Living Tombstone 5 Nights at Freddy's songs, is the second one, the 10 to 1, which is my favorite. And I just wanted to know, what is your guys' favorite and why?
Okay, one that's not by us, how about that? So my favorite Five Nights at Freddy's song in general, just that's existed? Oh, from the Living Tombstone.
Oh, I was going to pick CK9C.
Well, yeah. No, that's from CK9C.
I just said that.
Oh, okay. So what about Living
I Got
Tombstone?
No Time. I like that one.
That one's a good one. I love I Got No Time as well. But I think I would choose I Can't Fix You.
Oh, that one.
Obvious reasons that nobody knows yet.
Probably I Can't Fix, well, not just, so I won't, as not to steal answers, probably Die in a Fire, because I love when Living Tombstone does rock and
Sounds violent.
Oh,
It's rock.
it's a tad.
I love Die in a Fire.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Okay, hi. So like as an artist, I know that there's really weird circumstances where you do like a thing that you don't expect to get really popular, but it does. So like, what was your most unexpected thing that you made like just for fun at like 12 a.m. and somehow now it's a part of your legacy?
Find a way.
I doubt. Hands down, that was what it was. I remember what Charlie told me. He's like, oh, it's just a song. I just made this in 2 hours. It's not gonna get that much. And then, like tomorrow, I'm like, what the heck? Led an entire army of Ugandan knuckles.
Yeah, it took an hour to make that song, and I don't regret it for a second, but at the same time, I do regret it.
Yeah, that's what I thought you said. I was just like, no, you didn't. You said you didn't like it. And then you're like, oh,
catchy.
It is catchy.
For me, it's probably the Sonic Mania Friends cover that I did with the lyrics that I wrote. I thought it would just be a fun thing to do, just because I thought, oh, maybe this will get a few views here and there. And now it just surpassed 1 million this week, and I was like, oh, I guess okay, I'll take it.
Well, I'm gonna stick with Insanity. I wanted to have a lot of views, and it was just like, I'm like watching every one of their Doki Doki songs. I'm like, okay, I'm gonna make one too. And I made it, and it just like, the trend just went, whoop. And then I'm like, are you serious? I was so mad after that whole week. It was just like 20,000 views. I'm like, that's it? I was so angry. And then like 2 weeks later, it just goes, I'm like, what's happening? I was like, I just hit 1 million. Oh my goodness. And it just keeps growing and growing and growing. And I'm like, whoa, that was awesome. I want to do that again.
And that's at 1 million, right?
Yeah, it's at 1 million. It's like 1.4. It's a great achievement. I thought I'd never hit that.
Good job, you two.
Ever.
Alright. Yes.
Hello again. So I do mostly like lip syncing with the songs, and I currently can't stand the sound of my own voice. Is there a way to like get past that? Because I want to start singing, but
Practice, 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 and constant listening. It's just a matter of, it always sounds weird when you're hearing your voice on a recording for the first time because it's so different from everything you do. But it's just about getting used to it, keep practicing, maybe go to teachers or friends that you have that do singing, or find a tutor. It's all about just getting in there and practicing and working hard at it.
So for me, when I was about 12, I used to have this tape recorder that my grandma gave me, and I used to make the weirdest stuff of all time. You know, like when you play with toys when you're a little kid and you have like this imaginative story? That's what I did with that recorder. And sometimes I look at it again at this age and it's just the most cringiest thing to look at. But what always bothered me was my voice at that time. I'm like, why does my voice change so much through a microphone? And then when I hear it, it sounds awful. Well, one of the things I figured out how to get past is there's two things. Don't care. Just literally don't care, and just think it's funny, and you just keep going on with it. Because, like, another one is I like watching these YouTubers, and I watched them consistently, and I kind of learned how to pick up some of their voice. I kind of like taking a little piece of people's voices, and over time, as you practice, because like when you have your own ego in YouTube, you'll start noticing that your ego will start to solidify and like turn into a whole different person, and your voice will actually start changing, and it will form into something you'll be a lot more satisfied with. So I recommend you watch people whose voices that you like, that satisfies you, and over time, it's slow, but you will start to talk like that person, and then you'll actually be satisfied with that. So just love your own voice. Just love it. Because when you're excited and all, I don't know in other words, but when you're just excited, just fall in love with your voice and just go with the flow. So, yeah.
I think they spoke for me, pretty much. We have about 7 minutes, actually. It's 7 o'clock. It's 2:53. But we'll take a few more.
Any questions? Comments?
Concerns?
Do you guys have any hidden or secret talents?
I can wiggle my ears.
I can pole vault, and I can do a creepy spider flex thing and walk like a spider. It's. I guess I'll show you guys at the end. I don't know about Charlie. He's gonna be like, I don't know that guy.
secret talent.
Find weird memes that I've never seen before.
I mean, that's just part of the music. But I can do an impression of Goofy.
Oh, actually, he is a really good one.
Wait, really?
I can do Mickey Mouse.
Can we hear it?
Yes.
Do it.
This is Wake Me Up by Goofy. Oh, can you see into my eyes like open doors? Wake me up! I can't wake up! Save me!
Thank you, everybody. Thank you for my fellow friend, Goofy.
Okay, you're done. Next question, please.
Any other questions? Just in the back over there.
Just favorite video game soundtrack.
Probably Undertale.
Hold up. All right. Let me just get this straight. All right. Undertale, without a doubt. I mean, it's kind of. Oh wait, no, hold on. Shut up. Hold on a second.
How's it talking, Charlie?
The Pokemon Sapphire soundtrack. Pokemon Sapphire, Emerald Ruby. I love the battle music. I love Little Root theme. The Pokemon Center music for that is sick. Papa Chin. Okay, done.
Let's go to Chi-Chi. I haven't decided yet.
For me, it is the Dark Cloud soundtrack. It is the world's most underrated game, and the music is gorgeous. If you haven't heard about it, I highly recommend you check it out. It is so cool.
There's so many songs I could pick. Soundtracks.
No, because I'm not in there yet.
Oh, I mean, I keep constantly singing the Doki Doki soundtrack. Every day I meditate
So small, right? It's like a few songs, right? It's like the Dear Reality song.
going on inside the tank? Every day I'm like walking in the hallway. Imagine a beer can.
Yes, sounds so cute. I think we can call it a day. Thank you so much for you guys' questions.
Thank you all for coming out.
And I'll be performing tomorrow with him and her and Caleb Piles, and it'll be fun. So please show up. I'd love to see you